10-week challenge, and so can you. Farrell's combines kickboxing, strength training, and nutrition coaching to get you the results you have been waiting for. Join us July 12th for the Summer 10-Week Challenge. Go to fxblincoln.com to enroll today.
John Henry's has a brand new membership club to protect your entire home in one program. With a VIP and a deluxe option, we will help you find the plan that best fits your needs. Receive discounts on services and equipment, priority service, complimentary inspections, and so much more. Protect your home's plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical systems all in one membership. Call John Henry's to learn more.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air,
and Electrical.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Cobble Chevrolet GMC, and they're having the biggest hail sale they've ever had. A huge opportunity is at your front door right now. Some of these cars we're fixing, some we're not, and some it's totally up to you. New Sierra starting at $15,000 off list. New Canyons at $8,500 off list. New body styles on the Acadias, $3,000 off list. You need to hurry as there's going to be a lot of people heading to Louisville. Check us out at cobblecars.com. Stock numbers G121492, G187747, and G196599.
It's time to go one-on-one with DP. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America, on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Derek Pearson, brought to you by Canopy Street Market.
Boom. In your face. In your face, sir. In your face, sir.
That's respectful.
In your face. Respectfully. Respectfully. In your face. DP, one-on-one. 11 o'clock. Tuesday. It's gorgeous. Gorgeous. The weather looks fantastic. Enjoy it while you can before clouds and precipitation show up and arrive and ruin all things gold and glorious. I should do a whole show speaking as such. No, I'm not. The Starter Heyman text line, 402-464-5685. You want to be a part of what we're doing? Hit me up. Hit us with a what's up and fist bump. And we'll include you in the conversation. Why? Because we love you like that. We do. We're inclusive here. We want to consider you. We want you to be considered. But there's responsibility with such perks. You must have something of quality to say. Give us something. Give us nutrition and nourishment for our souls. Do not just pour water into a pot and boil it. Give me something to consume. We demand as such. You can follow on all the streams, Facebook, YouTube, X, Allo Channel 961. If you want to be a part and see what's happening, you can. If you have not downloaded the Ticket app, do so. Please do so that we can go with you wherever you go, whenever you go. We'll be there. Also, follow on all the social medias, all of them. If you don't follow, please do so now. Greatly appreciate it, because it is a small request. A couple of things in local business and local news that we want to put out there for you. And the Lincoln Stars are looking for billet homes. They're looking for billet homes. Folks that can host hockey players over the course of the season. And in asking that, they're asking you to reach out. So you just go to the Stars website, and there's a button there for you to click that will guide you through. There are perks and benefits to being a Lincoln Stars billet family. And I think it would be a good, it's one great representation. Maybe you have kids who have gone off to college and you have room, or you have kids who have grown up and decided to do another thing, be in another place. But the billet homes are important to the process for the Stars. So shout out, happy anniversary, Coach Russo, by the way. June is a big anniversary month. A lot of people got married in June and July, so bravo. But the read is as follows. The Billet family is a home where a player lives during the season. Billet families are given a generous stipend each month to help offset expenses. Billet families may be two-parent, single-parent, occasionally an empty nester. The common denominator is desire by the family to make a difference in a player for the Lincoln Stars' life. And can you billet more than one player? The answer is yes. Multiple players can share transportation expenses, often provides company for each other. The only requirement is that each player has an adequate space, living arrangements. Each player is expected to have his own bed, closet, and dresser, and accessible access to the restroom. So again, go to LincolnStars.com for more information on that. Greatly appreciate it because it's a great thing. There's also boxing at the complex this month. I'll pull that up and go through it as well. The Salt Dogs. So we had our first of the season BP with DP. The second will take place next Friday. Next Friday, 3 p.m. as the Salt Dogs take on Winnipeg, and it's a great night. One, because it's fireworks Friday, post game, right? Free shirt Friday, so you get shirts, and that's a special one because this is the night. They're the Walt Dogs that night. Disney themed jerseys and shirts. They will have Disney themed shirts selling at all the concessions, and they will give out t-shirts as well over the course of the thing, souvenirs for fans who arrive early. BP with DP. I know that Pete Ferguson put himself out there and took on the challenge. Terrell Farley took on the challenge. I know that in August, the boys from Early Break have committed to doing BP with DP and putting themselves at risk, right? High exposure. But for the 18th, there are some spots, and Chef Bob Haney from Heavenly Waffles says if he's in town, he'd like to participate. We got a commitment from both hosts of Teammates Tuesday. So Ashton and Demo have both agreed to go take some hacks and maybe take some teammates to the game as well. Maybe have some other teammates there. But you get fireworks, and it's Walt Disney night. So if you get a chance, be a part of it. Now, if you'd like to be one of the folks who want to go down and see whether you still have what it takes, or to see if you ever had it, because in some cases that's also true. Bach, are you in your athletic prime still?
I don't know if I'd go that far. No, I don't know if I ever have had an athletic prime. It's hard to compare when there's not much. There wasn't really a high ceiling.
Like it is the thing that you need to do. We all need to do. And I don't know that beautiful cardinal outside. I always love it when cardinals show up. Look at that. Gorgeous full red cardinal. Oh, I love that so much. Bach, they're here to see one of the two of us.
Well, I'm a Cardinals fan.
One of us has a visitor.
I'm hoping they like.
Yeah, one of us has a visitor. Yeah, the athletic prime, like, cousin Kevin Meyer had to go out and take a few strokes, and of course you have to reassess. Like, wait a minute, I am not who I thought I once was, and you learn that. But in this 2 hours, well, in the second hour, I will accept a text line application for taking batting practice next Friday with the Salt Dogs. Now, if you can't make it Friday, don't participate. But if you'd like to go to, maybe you played Little League, maybe you played high school ball, college ball. You want to see if you still got it. Maybe you're a softball player who plays, and you want to see if the stroke still, crosses over and gets it done. Austin Orman will be the judge. Right? We'll let Bach, Austin, and myself, and then that means that if there's a tie, we'll have a tiebreaker. But you can text in and say, I'd like to take BP with DP, and here's why. What do you want to know about yourself? What do you think it's going to look like? 30 swings, how many base hits are you going to get? Go into detail. Bach, what if you were there next Friday and we said 30 pitches, how many line drive base hits do you think you'd get in your 30 swings?
Well, we did this once before, so I have done BP with DP.
Yep.
I don't know how many. I think you were probably around 30, and I got one out of the infield. So maybe one.
It's a real thing, right? Like we have to keep saying to people, just understand, it's not easy. I was texted. The complex event is the summer season MMA August 16th at the complex. So if you want to be a part of that, again, you go to the complex. Tommy Arciaga and the folks, the complex Lincoln.com, the complex Lincoln.com. I wanted to make sure I got the website right. So if you want to be a part of it, you can do that. Thomas and Lincoln says, DP, got a question for you. My fiance lives in a very toxic house with her parents and sister, and she's got a kid. What can be done to get her assistance to get her out of the house? I will ask that to the text line. Because that is a unique space, right? That if there's difficulty, getting assistance going through the city, and it depends on what area. Lancaster County has different services, but that would be the initial direction that I will have. But there are certainly places that can direct you. As a matter of fact, we know the folks from Matt Talbot Kitchen and Outreach. They have counselors who can kind of direct people to different service centers. I know the Malone Center has resource and personnel that could answer questions for people who are in tough and difficult situation, maybe to direct that. But if you have information, you're on the text line, you want to give it, please feel free to do that. I asked the question, in posting for today's show, pull to Cody Rhodes. Well, what do y'all want to talk about? So, Bach, I'm gonna lead with this because there are four Huskers who are participating in the NBA Summer League. Do you know all four, Bach?
I should off the top of my head. I know Jack McVay's out there. We just got Bryce Williams and Juwan Gary, obviously, to try that out. And then Keisei Tamanaga's back.
Right. So Keisei and McVay are with the Pacers over the course of this thing. And I'm kind of sad that I'm not actually in Vegas. Normally I find my way either to Salt Lake or Vegas for the Summer League. And I haven't done that this year. And I'm really jonesing for it, quite frankly. But you get a chance to see that. Juwan Gary is also there with the Clippers. Bryce will be playing for the Detroit Pistons, and of course, Keisei and McVay with the Indiana Pacers and Atlanta Hawks, respectively. So, if you're looking, those games are on ESPN and all the ESPN apps. So, if you have it and you want to track Husker athletes and see how they're doing, not bad.
It's crazy how quick the NBA season turns into Summer League. Because I noticed that the other day, I was like clicking through channels and I saw Lakers versus someone. I was like, what is this, a replay? And I clicked, I was like, man, they really don't have a break, do they?
To get you right when they get you. The captive audience. To get athletes. I mean, think about it, for these young athletes to go through the draft process, which is a full process through all the workouts and all the interviews and all the stuff that goes on. And then to immediately have a new home. And then to be pulled from that process to go to Salt Lake City or Las Vegas. Think about it. You were unemployed 3 weeks ago. You were unemployed. And then all of a sudden you have a boss, but you're not, and you have to go to that town. You have to go meet your boss because you don't know the boss. Like you don't know the coach. You don't know the owner. You don't know your teammates. And then a bunch of you get together and then you go to Las Vegas or Salt Lake City or both. Again, these are young folks. These are folks that don't necessarily know left from right when it comes to NBA play, NBA cities, NBA events, NBA rules, regulations, testing, etc. In my time in Salt Lake City, back then it was the Rocky Mountain Review. And it was it was actually the biggest of the NBA summer events. So you would have 16 NBA teams in Salt Lake City for the course of 2 weeks, and you would get to see. And of course, this is Kevin Durant coming to town, Carmelo. You would go through, you'd meet the people, and then you would get you get your first eyes on outside of the college world into the pro world, and then to see how they dealt with the media, different media than college media. NBA media is different than college media. Different questions, different approach, different reaction and response. And then they are left to handle themselves in Salt Lake City, Utah for the rest of their time there. Now, most teams have assigned coaches and consultants who are there to make sure that no chaos takes place. Nothing ridiculous happens. But of course, it finds its way because these are new millionaires. And the social life in Salt Lake City was firmly wrapped around identifying new millionaires in town. What comes with new millionaires, Bach?
Well, I think some fun. Probably they're going to spend a little bit of money.
If you're not careful, too much fun. And if you're even less careful, some of your money stays in Salt Lake City. And so a big part of it is this, that these college students or these European athletes are placed in Salt Lake City for a nightlife. And the games end. The games usually are noon to 10, depending on when your team plays. And then there are workouts and team practices that happen, right? So there are high school gyms and facilities that are being used. But then the social life. And to tell you that half the crowd are women. Half the crowd, they're women. And they're shooting their shot. And I'm telling you, the amount of security required at these events to keep this under control. And remember, the security that's hired for all of the nightlife in Salt Lake City is in play, because you need people to tell, hey, your new millionaire who's only 19 years old, you might not want to come in here. You might want to stay out of this bar. But it's a part of the process, and they're learning. So, yeah, it's interesting times. And then you move that from Salt Lake City to Las Vegas. What? You mean there's more nightlife in Las Vegas? More distractions? More people? It is a great identifier for programs, for organizations, to see how their young people handle Las Vegas. And it might not be fair, but it's the truth. Like, you want to know if they haven't signed the contract in full, that you need to put things into the contract. Yeah, Miami. Yeah, there are certain spots that are all over. Orlando had a summer league. Boston had a summer league. So there are places, but a lot of it is identifying who your talent is and what boundaries do you need to put in place. Is this a young person that will go study the playbook, rehab his body, get training, etc.? Or is this somebody that's, hey, all my family's here because they never see me play pro basketball? Well, that's a big part of it too. If you've got on an NBA Summer League jersey, that's still an NBA Summer League jersey, and you are under contract and agreement with an NBA team to play. And it is the life dream of everybody who plays in the Summer League to make the Summer League. So it's a big deal. It's a big deal. And then you've noticed that they send second and third year players to the Summer League now. And they say, well, it's for them to get resume and tape and for them to get experience. But sometimes, Bach, it's there to have a big brother there who can tell you how to eat, tell you when to sleep, tell you where to go, how to get on the bus, how to dress, when, how to get through warm-ups, etc. In Salt Lake City, they had an issue because, of course, they had the Ace Bailey situation during the draft that, there were reports that he didn't want to be drafted by Utah. And then Utah making the news. The Jazz made the news because they actually hired his agent's son to be a consultant during the summer league for the Utah Jazz to have eyes on and hands on Ace Bailey. Except people are like, hey, as the hands raised in the NBA media, is there a conflict of interest here? Is that a good decision? And Bob, this is my point when it comes to sports and business makers. They don't always have eyes on their blind spot. They don't always get it right.
Oh, we've seen that.
They don't always get it right? They don't always get it right. They go, whoops. Yeah, we probably messed up. Let's not do that. We probably should remove him. So it's a thing. It's a thing in the league. Bach, let me ask you this. How do you identify villains in sports? Villains.
I think you have to be, obviously the they got to hurt your team or whatever. That's part of it. But obviously, I think they got to be a little bit dastardly, maybe cocky, arrogant, that sort of stuff that makes you always kind of think of a guy like I'd love to have him on my team, but I'd hate to play against him. And those guys make pretty good villains for the rest of the league that they're playing in.
So they have to be good.
Yeah, absolutely.
They have to be good. Villains can't be basic. It can't be somebody that doesn't impact your day existence, the game, etc. But it's also the thing that in some cases, the villain becomes a hero. In some cases, like in the NBA and Major League Baseball, somebody you rooted against becomes a part of your team. As you said, you don't want to play against them, but you're okay with them playing for you. I remember when Deion signed with DC after coming from the Cowboys. I was like, oh no. What are we supposed to do? How are you supposed to deal with that? The same for Johnny Damon. Johnny Damon bounced teams. There was a run there where Red Sox fans and Yankees fans despised the thought of each other. But then through free agency, some of those villains end up on your team wearing your jersey. And you got to figure out, well, how am I supposed to deal with this? And then hopefully they're good enough. They're good enough to make your team, your franchise, what you root for better. Bach, was there ever somebody who you despised as an opponent, but then they played for your team? So that as a Celtics fan, somebody that you rooted against and then they showed up, Shaq might be a good thought. Maybe Ray Allen. Somebody that you put daggers in you as a Celtics fan, but then they end up in the jersey.
I'm trying to think about anybody that would be in that category. I've got plenty on the other side of it. Like you mentioned, Johnny Damon, switching over. Kevin Youkilis eventually wore a Yankees uniform. Jacoby Ellsbury made that route. So I kind of have a lot of examples of that. You mentioned Ray Allen, going from Boston to Miami. So I feel like I've got more experience on losing a guy to a team. And it somewhat hurt my fandom. I got to admit it.
You took it personal.
Well,
you took it personal.
I mean, Johnny Damon said he'd never play for those guys. I'll never forget the moment because I was listening to my radio. I was about to go sign up for a bank account with my dad, my first bank account. And I was listening to my radio and they said, coming up next, we'll tell you where Johnny Damon signed. And I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, and because they tease, it's not the Red Sox. I said, oh man, I really wanted to be a Red Sox for life. But I'm about to figure out who my second favorite team was going to be. Johnny Damon was my favorite player. And so, I mean, that news couldn't have hit me any harder. Then they made him shave his beard and all that. I mean, it was that was an experience.
You felt some kind of way. It was a personal attack.
I still do.
You evil, evil bastards. You did this to me. Like, it's a thing. The text line, you guys, it's true. D-Man says, as a Broncos fan, it's Peyton Manning. Hated him with the Colts, and then he becomes a Bronco, and then he wins the Super Bowl. Like, the pain.
I think Steelers fans are trying to figure out how to feel about Aaron Rodgers right now.
Like in full. Russell Wilson makes people reconsider some things, good and bad, right? Like, oh my God, because now folks are moving around. Ben says Jim Edmonds as a Cub was weird. Yeah. Jared Allen playing for the Bears from the Vikings. There should be some rules for free agency, right? That let's not go to our neighbor.
Yeah.
Like I always thought when I was younger, the rule was never trade within your division. And that should still apply. But then also, you shouldn't accept free agent money within the division. Like, go outside the division. Go outside of your division and get your money. Like, J.J. Watt, that was weird. That was weird because he was a Texan. Tom Brady, you're a Bucs fan. You had to say some things about yourself. Right? And Patriots fans who all had Tom Brady jerseys. Oh, what are you going to do with that? What are you going to do with that? He said, I've got a Bucs jersey for you since you love Tom Brady so much. It is true. Jerry Rice playing for the Raiders. Oh, what were you? Oh, Goat, what were you doing? What were you doing, Goat? Like that. At some point, so I was in D.C. One of my better friends at the time was Gary Clark. And I was running a sports bar that he was part owner in. So we were around each other all the time. As a matter of fact, we would get in his car and drive down to his hometown in southern Pulaski County, Virginia, go to his mom's house, hang out in town, go to all the spots, right? When his contract was up with the Redskins, he asked me to host the media event to announce his new team. And I prayed on it. And he signed with the Arizona Cardinals. And I remember him pulling the Cardinals jersey out with his name and number on it. And Bach, I still have the picture. It was a gut punch. Because he wasn't going to be there during the week. He wasn't going to be there on Sundays. We weren't going to have his Gary Clark post-game, dinner party at the bar. And the pain of it, him going to the Cardinals and the Dolphins. And then only close to that was Art Monk, a legendary top 3 Redskin ever, signing with the Philadelphia Eagles. And seeing him wearing the green and the Jets, him signing with the Jets, I was like, oh, I need a shot. I need a shot. So it was there. Saquon staying in division. But I blame the Giants for that. That was right? Like the villain in that is the Giants, not Saquon Barkley.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure Giants fans would disagree, but.
Well, I mean, talk to your GM and your coaches, right? Right? Tim Brown. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, that was. Cubster says Wilson Contreras as a Cardinal. Yeah. There's weirdness to it all. Brett Favre going to the Vikings, right? But Brett Favre going to a lot of places. Why did Aaron Rodgers not learn from Brett Favre? Like, don't go and ruin other organizations. Like, don't do that. He said Khalil Mack. A Raider fan says, Khalil Mack. Yeah. But again, the organization's the villain in that. That's not Khalil Mack's fault. Right? I mean, who should we be blaming?
Well, you always go back to, I mean, yeah, it's frustrating within your organization, but it's always just like, dude, sign with anybody else. Literally, there's like 30 other teams you could pick from.
But no, there's some daggerism to it.
Yeah,
there is. We'll throw the break. We'll come back. I want to stay here, and then the 12 o'clock hour, I want to go in a different direction. You can start to load up your texts and your thoughts. But on the villain talk, the greatest villains of all time in sports, the greatest villains, and people have their reason because I want to get to, right? So we're threading the needle. But I want to get to who are Nebraska's biggest sports villains? Who are the people that currently I would easily say that there's no name in sports who rattles Nebraska fans like Deion Sanders. I'm still not sure I understand why, because I don't see the rivalry. He's a Florida State guy. I don't know if he ever played Nebraska.
They did play Nebraska at one time, but that was not part of it. It's the Colorado thing.
Okay, so we'll get to it. But the biggest villains in sports, Bach, I'll get your list of top 3. Text line, feel free to join in as well. Greatly appreciated. We'll be back to one-on-one.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store. You're listening to One-on-One with DP on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service, bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in temperature-controlled high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for spirits and cigars. That's Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln. Advanced Medical Imaging is the largest radiology group in Nebraska, located in Lincoln at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. At Advanced Medical Imaging, they utilize state-of-the-art technology and blend it together with their compassionate, skilled team to guide you through every step. Whether it's an MRI, CT scan, or X-ray, their precise diagnostics help your doctor deliver the best care plan for you. Choose clarity and comfort in your life by choosing Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard and online at amimaging.com.
Lincoln's new craft cocktail lounge is Bar 48 in Lincoln. Located at 2639 North 48th Street, Bar 48 offers everything from cocktails to beer to wine and so much more. With summer right around the corner, you can always enjoy Bar 48's frozen beverages. Follow them on Facebook to stay up to date on their live music performances every Saturday night. Make plans to visit Bar 48 on North 48th Street in the heart of the University Place neighborhood today.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with pay starting at $23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at PAHLincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, their passion for happier, healthier, furry friends.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Copple Chevrolet GMC, and they're having the biggest hail sale they've ever had. A huge opportunity is at your front door right now. Some of these cars we're fixing, some we're not, and some it's totally up to you. New Sierra starting at $15,000 off list. New Canyons at $8,500 off list. New body styles on the Acadias, $3,000 off list. You need to hurry as there's going to be a lot of people heading to Louisville. Check us out at copplecars.com. Stock numbers G121492, G187747, and G196599.
When opportunity knocks, you don't want to miss the call. Hamilton Business Technologies makes communication easy and efficient using customized technology, all while putting people first. Whether you're working from the office, at home, or on the go, Hamilton Business Technologies equips your business with the right tools for smooth, professional call handling. Hamilton Business Technologies. Real people, real technology solutions. Learn more at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top-quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
This is James Harrell with NP Dodge Real Estate. When I became a licensed realtor, I wanted a brokerage that would help me grow in my new career. I found that in Lincoln First Realty. When Lincoln First was acquired by NP Dodge, the training and support I received only got better. I love knowing I have the power of the NP Dodge brand behind me. I would recommend NP Dodge to new agents looking to jumpstart their real estate career and to current agents who want to take their business to the next level.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contests, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
You're listening to One on One with DP, sponsored by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back. We're talking sports villains. And a couple of things, right? That one, it has to be somebody of importance. Somebody that has caused you personal pain, right? To be a top villain. Talented in opposition with, or at some level, a rivalry to. Like growing up for me, Roger Staubach was public enemy number one in DC for a stretch. Like there was a full stretch where it was, I don't think DC was bothered by Danny White nearly as much because he was way too giving. He was generous to us. He gave Redskin fans so many moments of joy. There were so many times when Danny White would just make a play and Redskins fans would just throw their hands in the air like, thank you so much, Danny. Even Troy Aikman, although Troy Aikman got his single win of an entire season against Washington. So he had a run as villain. So for Nebraska sports villains, and it doesn't have to just be football. It doesn't have to be football. It could be, is there somebody that hit a game-winning shot that killed a Huskers opportunity to advance in a tournament, or somebody that broke the Huskers' heart in recruiting and then came back and beat them in a game? Is there how does that play out? So, Bach, who comes to mind if we say biggest Nebraska sports villain? Who comes to mind for you?
That's interesting. I think, it kind of obviously depends on your era. I think, obviously Barry Switzer, it's like, but he had such a professional friendship with Tom Osborne that it kind of took away from it. But they beat Tom Osborne a lot throughout the 70s. So, I think that would probably be one that you would go with. I think it's more of like a team thing for Nebraska than individuals. Certainly the Boz, he kind of checks out a lot of the arrogant type of stuff that might distract you, might frustrate you. But then I think of some other sports, thinking like Grant Gibbs at Creighton. He kind of got into a couple scuffles with Nebraska basketball at the time. But I think Nebraska's kind of turned inward a little bit. Steve Peterson, Bill Callahan, our own guys, Sam Keller. Those are probably more Husker villains than anything.
I saw a shirt that when I saw it, it was about another team, and I immediately thought of Nebraska. But it had A2 Brute and then the logo of a program. And there are people who have done more damage to Nebraska who were Huskers. Who were Huskers. some names just roll off the list. They're like, just roll off the tongue, right? Immediately to the lips.
Yeah.
That I don't want to do it. So let's have that discussion. What former Huskers, and former Husker being relative, once a Husker, always a Husker. What Huskers are the biggest sports villains? You mentioned Steve Peterson. Where would you rank? Is he number one? Is it Einhorst? Who is it for you?
Yeah, I think Steve Peterson's probably number one for a lot of people. Obviously, again, going along with Bill Callahan, but the search wasn't great. And just Nebraska's never recovered fully from that transition. So I think that's going to be up there. Like you said, Eichhorst certainly could be up there. I think there's some other names. You can go outside, now that I'm kind of going through some different names, like Chase Daniel from Missouri was a pretty hated player. So there's some across the lines type of villains too. But like I said, I think Nebraska's mostly understood that after 25 years of this, that it might be a little bit of a Nebraska problem than, pointing around. Now, the other one that I would say,
I think you just hit the home run of all home runs. That Nebraska's problems have always been Nebraska. Nebraska has everything. When you have everything, the call is coming from inside the house. Seems to be the thing, right? That if we said Nolan went straight for the money shot on the text line. He goes, would you consider Frost as a villain? I don't know, text line. Do you consider Bach?
I'm a little softer on Frost than others. A lot of that due to his playing career. So I don't consider him a villain. I consider him a failed head coach, certainly at Nebraska, and a lot of different things that could have been done differently to make that better. But I mean, if I'm answering for me, it's a no. If I'm answering for the Husker fan base, it's probably more of a yes.
So let's say that at the corner of 11th and O, we put dunk tanks at the four corners right here. In one dunk tank, Scott Frost. In the next dunk tank, it's Peterson. Who's in tank number 3?
Probably Bill Callahan.
Callahan in 3. And then who's in the 4th dunk tank?
Probably Sean Eichhorst.
Okay. Which dunk tank makes the most money? Which dunk tank makes the most money, Bach? So you get one football or one basketball, and it is your vote. And you're doing this just for young Bach and current Bach. And you get one, you can do it with a baseball if you want. You can do it with a volleyball, but you get one. You get to dunk one. Bach, what dunk tank are you going to?
I think I'll get in that big line for Steve Peterson.
So you think that's going to be the one?
I think that's the one, yeah. Now, Harvey Perlman also might have an argument to be included in there. Maybe he's just going to flip inside and out with this.
Well, Cupsker says Trev Alberts.
Well, now, yeah, talk about that's definitely one that you could probably put in the villain category.
Well, but so Husker fans in the four corners, let's just say Frost, Alberts, Peterson, whoever. There's some shots being taken at Trev.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Especially young people. Right? But is it Peterson or is it Bach? You only get one. I know you would stand in the middle of the street. You would stand in the middle of the street for a while and just ponder it. Like you would want to look them in the eye, right? Like before you would make them face you. Like, who do you want to see you dunk? Who do you want? Like, you want to look them in the eye. You don't even need the ball. You're going to walk up and hit the lever yourself. Bach, who is it?
Like I said, I think it's still Steve Peterson. I think he's the biggest villain in Nebraska.
What? Tell me why. Tell me why.
Well, again, it was just the decision to fire Frank Solich. And a lot of it's just how it's aged, right? They went 10-3. He fired Frank Solich. They were 9-3 at the time. Bo Pelini won the game after that. But 10-3 is the best winning percentage they've had since then. They have not done better since. So when I say they haven't recovered, they really haven't. Even through the Pelini years, the 10-4s, that's not quite the winning percentage. You could argue which teams are better. I get that. But it just there's a big frustration with how he handled the search. Firing Frank is a whole thing, right? I mean, he would have kept Frank along. How different would things have looked, obviously? But then to go outside the Nebraska footprint, to go to Bill Callahan, and then a few short later, it was probably shown, hey, probably should have went with Bo Pelini at the time. So it's just a lot of things didn't go right.
What did the people say when this was going down? What was the public demand? What was the call?
I think there was a heavy portion of Husker fans that didn't want Frank fired. And then to go away from kind of the Nebraska community into Bill Callahan, not pretend that there wasn't excitement. Remember, they had the 05 recruiting class. It was kind of, okay, we're bringing in pro football to Nebraska. Maybe you can finally, it was going away from the options. So, okay, we could get a pro quarterback at Nebraska. Spoiler alert, they've had one quarterback drafted since leaving the option, which is Tanner Lee. So that didn't really work. But
like, how wrong out loud can you be?
It's been bad. It's been a rough decision.
We're going to get to these texts. So fire off your texts because you guys are on fire with this thing. Bach, we're going to read some of these texts when we come back because there is a line full. If you were standing in the four-way and those four Huskers were in a dunk tank, whose tank would you go to first? And I think it says a lot to have people explain what Peterson did, but also to consider that there are folks who would still go to Frost or Trev as well. And then we need to figure out who number 4 is. So we'll get to that when we come back.
Watch live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. You're listening to One-on-One with DP on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Saturday. Eagle Raceway is open for a full season of dirt track racing action every Saturday night. Don't miss the epic battles on the high banks of Eagle Raceway each Saturday between the Nebraska Septic Sprint Cars, Nebraska Lottery Modifieds, Avid Realty Sport Mods, Valentino's Hobby Stocks, and A1 Iron Stock Cars. Let's go racing. Eagle Raceway, just 10 miles east of Lincoln on O Street. Check out the full schedule at eagleraceway.com. Give your furnace a break with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows. Heartland of Nebraska Windows offers a free estimate, full window replacements, all vinyl triple pane windows, and a lifetime warranty of everything, while still keeping their prices affordable. Sounds too good to be true, right? Heartland of Nebraska Windows is locally and family owned with their own team of installers. Give the window experts at Heartland of Nebraska Windows a call today at 402-430-3852 or visit them online at heartlandofnebraskawindows.com. Elevate your home or business with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows today.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and they're having the biggest hail sale they've ever had. A huge opportunity is at your front door right now. Some of these cars we're fixing, some we're not, and some it's totally up to you. New Sierra starting at $15,000 off list. New Canyons at $8,500 off list. New body styles on the Acadias, $3,000 off list. You need to hurry as there's going to be a lot of people heading to Louisville. Check us out at koppelcars.com. Stock numbers G121492, G187747, and G196599.
Are kids better off in an intact family? You bet they are. This is Joe Cordell of the domestic litigation firm Cordell & Cordell. Kids living in a household with married parents do better in school, they're emotionally healthier, and they're more likely to stay out of trouble with the law. If you're in a troubled marriage, of course you should do everything you can to save your marriage, if only for your kids' sake. This includes considering alternatives to divorce. Of course, in some circumstances, divorce is unavoidable. In either case, if you're a man facing a crisis in your marriage, let us help you at Cordell & Cordell. Remember, we're the partner men can count on.
The attorneys at Cordell & Cordell work to help men maximize their role in their children's lives. Contact the domestic litigation firm of Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Lincoln area attorneys, a partner men can count on. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. Office in downtown Lincoln, Cordell & Cordell, 1221 N Street, Suite 801, Lincoln, Nebraska, 68508.
Raising Cane's is the only fuel I need. Their chicken fingers always fill my tank. So when I'm running on fumes, I always refuel at Raising Cane's. But turns out, not everything's fueled by Cane's. Guess the old girl prefers her sauce unleaded. One love.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit OakStreetCarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
Oak Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. We'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
Hey guys, you have heard about the Farrell's 10-week challenge for years on the ticket. If you still haven't joined us for this amazing challenge, what are you waiting for? You could be our next $1,000 winner like Derek, who just lost 30 pounds, 23 inches, and 8% body fat. Derek changed his life in the 10-week challenge, and so can you. Farrell's combines kickboxing, strength training, and nutrition coaching to get you the results you have been waiting for. Join us July 12th for the Summer 10-Week Challenge. Go to fxblincoln.com to enroll today.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
You're listening to One on One with DP, brought to you by Canopy Street Market on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Speaking of villains, he's the top villain these days. John Cena. He doesn't suck, but it makes me boo. From the text line, Timmy V says, Bill Romanowski was basically an anti-hero as a Bronco and then a supervillain as a Raider. Although some would say the opposite. Matt Millen falls in that category of folks. Won a title as a Raider rookie. Also won one as a 49er later in career. And you go, hey, boo that man. But he was your superhero. Tulane Tanner says, Callahan worked his bleep off. Plus, he Callahan's Huddle, 1,000+ jobs. No way should it be Callahan. Old Dad 34 says, Steve Peterson might get drowned in the dunk tank because of all the people in line. 2563 says Peterson because of the domino effect. Dirty Tony the boys, and good to hear y'all on here, says Sam Keller. As I think that's interesting. I think it's very interesting. Dave Braska says Perlman extended Peterson, who then extended Callahan. Perlman was allowed to retire and teach at the law college. Bach, what say you about that?
Yeah, I mean, Harvey Perlman was behind a lot of the decision-making, kind of during the 2000s, even moving Nebraska to the Big Ten. So, it wasn't a great tenure. And so a lot of people will kind of say him because he hired, a lot of these athletic directors, the moves that didn't work out. So, I mean, I think you could certainly put him up there. He gave me a snow day, though, one day that I wasn't expecting when I was at the university. So I have a soft spot for Harvey.
You would sell out for the snow day.
he sent the personal emails.
You're going to sell out Husker Nation for a snow day. Bro, Bach. Hey, y'all need to know who Bach is.
Snow days are big deals.
Bach is a super villain in private. I'm just letting y'all know he would sell you all out for a snow day.
Just one
For
day off.
one snow day, not a week, not several. A snow day. Bach just let you know. Riley says this: I'm giving all the kids money to dunk Trev, which I'm not surprised. Money G in Kansas says give Peterson scuba gear. He's going to need it. 4251 identified all kickers as villains. And yeah, Kupsker says Trev made himself a villain by going to A&M. And you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Does Bill Moose deserve a tank?
I don't think so, because I think, again, you go back to the Frost hire. I argued at the time, it doesn't really matter. Remember, because the athletic director job was open. It's like, it doesn't matter who it is as long as they land Frost. Frost was such an obvious move coming off coach of the year, going undefeated at UCF.
But what if Frost said that he didn't want to be here? He didn't want the job. And you hired him anyway.
Well, and the job was still trying to get him here. Again, I that was the A+ hire of the offseason. It's tough to go back. In hindsight,
No,
it's easy to
it's
go back.
not hard. See, this is the part of sports talk that drives me crazy. It's not hard to go back in retrospect and say there were red flags all over the place.
The next time there's a coach of the year that's undefeated that led Nebraska to a national championship, I wouldn't let this Scott Frost experiment burn you. I mean, that means
you didn't learn.
Such an obvious
repetitive bad behavior, Bach. There's a definition for it.
But it's not the same. There's nothing out there on a resume that's going to guarantee it's going to work at the next spot.
No, that's why you don't repeat it. You missed the red flags. You didn't go.
No. You don't go hire that's what a lot of athletic directors will do. Go hire the opposite. And then you get in this kind of circular motion of keep hiring the opposite of what your previous coach
How about
was.
you hire the best person, no matter whether they're an alumnus or won a national title for you? How about you choose somebody that can lead your kids? How about you hire somebody that makes good, sound decisions? How about you hire the best person for that situation just because they're the best coach available? Not because they fit conveniently into lowest common denominator, Nebraska-izing the job search, because there are all the reasons why it didn't work.
He was he was literally the national coach of the year. Now you get
to who?
Well, took UCF undefeated.
Is UCF Nebraska?
No,
that's my point. This is the part of it that makes my head hurt. It's the job of the athletic director to go beyond the fandom and to go beyond the lowest common denominator and have some.
Just because it didn't work doesn't mean it's the lowest common denominator. To hire the coach of the year that went undefeated at UCF.
What was his record here?
He was awful here.
What was his record here?
Something like 13-27 or something. I can't remember.
Is that the lowest? Is that as low as Nebraska should have? Nebraska should never be that low. Is that fair? Is that
fair,
true?
Yeah.
Nebraska should never be what it was under Scott Frost. Is that a fair statement?
Absolutely.
And there are reasons for that, right?
Yeah.
And those reasons aren't red flag enough to say that the decision-making process was bad. It was wrong.
I don't know. I'll just stick on my side.
I fully engaged in it. I love that. We'll talk about sports villains. Who are Nebraska's opponents? So we'll go outside the house. As Nebraska fans, and Bach, you talked about Big Ten officials, you talked about Texas, but I want to know from the listeners, who are the people outside the program who are Nebraska's biggest sports villains? Whether it's a moment, right, that they won a game. Like Colt McCoy comes to mind because he made a play that, quite frankly, helped change the direction and level of Nebraska football. Texas is always a villain. Always a villain. Oklahoma, always a villain. Who are the biggest, greatest Nebraska sports villains? We'll get your take when we come back.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store. You're listening to One-on-One with DP on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law Group and find out how we can help get you the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. 877-42-LIBERTY. Liberty Law Group. Trial attorneys you can trust.
Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in temperature-controlled high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for spirits and cigars. That's Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
An award-winning softball season deserves a celebration. Don't miss your chance to congratulate Jordy Ball in person. Join the team at Midwest Bank for a special meet and greet on July 16th at their Jamie Lane location as they recognize her incredible achievements. Bring your friends, your team spirit, and your favorite gear for Jordy to sign, and it all kicks off at 4 p.m. They can't wait to see you there. Get all the details at midwest.bank. Midwest Bank, member FDIC.
This is James Harrell with NP Dodge Real Estate. When I became a licensed realtor, I wanted a brokerage that would help me grow in my new career. I found that in Lincoln First Realty. When Lincoln First was acquired by NP Dodge, the training and support I received only got better. I love knowing I have the power of the NP Dodge brand behind me. I would recommend NP Dodge to new agents looking to jumpstart their real estate career and to current agents who want to take their business to the next level.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, a slight chance of showers and storms this morning. Otherwise, we'll see decreasing clouds throughout the day with light winds and a high near 87. Tonight, mainly clear skies and calm winds, a low around 66. And tomorrow, we'll see mainly sunny skies with light winds and a high near 91. I'm meteorologist Kyle Flecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Since 1983, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs have been a trusted and reliable company in Lincoln and the surrounding areas. Fast Mike's handles all sides of construction projects, home renovations, or big cleanouts. With the perfect size dumpster to fit your needs, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs will haul it all. With same-day delivery in Lincoln, affordable rates, and top-notch service, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs make cleanup quick and easy. Call now at 402-450-6828 or visit us online at fastmikerolloff.com. Book your dumpster today. Fast Mike's Roll-Offs, cleanup made simple.
Why are some people more successful? Is it talent and determination, or did they recognize an opportunity? Discover a career that lets you help families reach their financial goals as you build lasting professional relationships. One with unlimited income potential. From Modern Woodman, a leading fraternal financial services provider.
I'm Modern Woodman Regional Director Sean Erickson. Call me at 402-483-6515 to learn about career opportunities.
Modern Woodman of America. touching lives, securing futures.
Attention all Wings fans. Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays, enjoy 40% off boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.39 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Wings and Rings today, 68th and O, or in Williamsburg Village.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
It's time to go one-on-one with DP. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Derek Pearson, brought to you by Canopy Street Market.
Boom. Hour 2. One-on-one. 402-464-5685. The Starter Hammond text line. You want to be a part of what we're doing? And you have been. Thank you. We appreciate you for firing away on the text line, giving content and consideration, things to consider. And here's the thing about sports talk. Nobody's ever right. You meet somewhere in the middle between what we believe and what we don't believe, and it doesn't really move the needle. You can follow on all the live video streams, Facebook, YouTube, X, Allo Channel 961. If you want to be on the streams, download the Ticket app as well, so you can go where you want to go. I said that there's a text from an earlier show, and I won't say who said it, but it's the thing that they identified this as Nebraska media, aka there's some name calling to the media and just saying that, spewing garbage expectations on the sports teams, and that you should look in the mirror. Here's the thing about it. Sometimes you're providing provocation for thought that none of us are going to agree on the same things, on everything. Just doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. And your opinion is based on your perspective and your experience, your knowledge, and then how you feel about it. And that's why when in the sports villain talk, Nebraska fans have a different perspective on how they think of and consider good and bad, right and wrong, etc. And you can say that if at the top of your list, winning overrides the people, that's how a lot of folks compress and compartmentalize how they go through it. So when asking about sports villains and those sports villains of Nebraska sports, that immediately somebody says Desmond Howard, anti-Nebraska. And I'm not going to tell anybody they're wrong in their opinion. But Timmy V asked a similar question. Do you consider Barry Alvarez as a villain for huskering up the Badgers and all the pain they have caused us in the Big Ten? Within the Big Ten, who are the sports villains? And it was Commissioner Warren for a pocket of time. It was Commissioner Warren. But at the same token, it would be Big Ten officials, which I've heard ad nauseum that Nebraska doesn't get consideration of Nebraska officials in most sports. That's not even a football thing. That's in most sports. Texas and Oklahoma being considered rivals within other conferences and their proximity and then the past relationship. But I'm not sure that Texas and Oklahoma are bigger rivals than, drumroll, Wisconsin and Iowa. To me, the immediate thing that would have come to mind as Nebraska sports villains would be Creighton. because Creighton is the mirror that sits in your car and stares back at you all the time and tells you who you really are, because they know where the bodies are buried. They know what's going on inside the car. That I would imagine that losing to Creighton in basketball, or losing to I remember how big beating Creighton was in basketball and how things felt lighter in the air. So I don't know. Thomas Link says his sports villain, and again, his Carolina fandom is showing up. But he says 1 second, which will make the skin of most Husker fans crawl. Grandpa Mike Riley and Oklahoma. And it makes sense. And he's not wrong. Simple. John and Cortland, behave yourself. Bill and Bennett says Bill McCartney. Bill McCartney, he's better dead than red statement sticks in his mind. The refs of the 82 Penn State game.
That's the problem. It's not just the Big Ten refs. It's the Big 12 refs from the 1 second left. It's the Florida State refs and 93. So refs in general, I think.
That's what 5866 says. The 82 Penn State and the 94 Orange Bowl Florida State referees. And again, costing titles and changing direction of entire programs. Bill McCartney has mentioned several times. It is a thing that, Bryce says, turncoat Trev. I think things in the full strip that if we said, Bone says Florida State and Bowdoin, all those Florida teams in the day who thought they were going to get to football. But as Bone says, it took care of 2 of them. But the Seminoles and Gators. John Cortland says Desmond Howard is a Michigan guy, not anti-Nebraska. Barry is still a Nebraska guy. Speaking of Barry Alvarez, once a Husker, always a Husker. Sports villain, any Hawkeye. So Bach, let's redefine the 4 corners of 11th and 0. And if we said Oklahoma's in one dunk tank, Texas in another, Wisconsin in another, Iowa in another, or you can replace Wisconsin with Creighton. Is that fair? Is that a fair? Does that resonate, or should Creighton not have its own booth?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough because obviously football is the number 1 sport. Creighton doesn't have a football team. There's plenty of hate, and that, I mean, this is an interesting discussion because conference realignment has shifted a lot of this, right? Nebraska, Oklahoma just recently was listed the number 6 college football rivalry all time from The Athletic. They haven't played on a regular season basis since 1996, and yet 30 years later, it's still considered that high. I think among some, I think as that ages out, people are going to kind of forget that. So it's interesting, and I think we'd have a better frame for this Nebraska sports villain maybe if Nebraska never left the Big 12.
Yeah, different times, and different focuses, but also different success level.
Absolutely
right. That in the 8. What was the run when Nebraska left? How many teams were in the conference?
The Big 12. There was 12.
There were 12.
Well, there was Missouri was outgoing, so there's a few teams leaving.
Right. So again, a condensed vantage and priority. But of those, would you put, as a Husker fan, what is your villain level for Creighton?
I mean, it's pretty high. I mean, there's a lot of people that hate J Skurs and all that sort of stuff. So there's kind of a culture there. And Creighton's the better, basketball program. It's tough to argue. Well,
shouldn't that anger, like if you're a Husker fan, they've done things that Nebraska basketball hadn't done.
Yeah.
And if I were a native Nebraskan, I would throw hands at Creighton.
But again, it's kind of measuring the success, like you said earlier, and that's why Iowa is going to struggle to match up with Oklahoma. Now, some of the younger folks might hate Iowa a little bit more, but if Nebraska, Oklahoma is playing to get to Orange Bowls and national championships and relevant games, and even Nebraska, Colorado had those matchups. How does Nebraska, Iowa, or Nebraska, Creighton, even, in a different sport, but you're not rarely battling to get in the top 25 or even anything, right? When you're playing Creighton. So those things compared to national championship implications almost year in and year out for, 20 to 25 years or whatever against Oklahoma. That's why I think Oklahoma still stands out as Nebraska's biggest rivalry historically, but it's tough because it's been so many years.
So who is the top rival right now? Who is the top villain right now?
I think because there's space between Nebraska and Oklahoma and you miss it, I almost feel like there's more of an allyship there, right? You feel more connected to them. They're kind of going through some same things.
Well, you built your brands on each other.
Yeah.
You built your brands on each other. Nebraska doesn't need Iowa to build its brand, but it is the constant reminder of what you are and what you aren't. Creighton, a full-on statement out loud of who you are and who you aren't. Right? There's some resistance to allowing Creighton basketball fans to root for Nebraska football. Right? The whole Jasker thing has its own leverage. So, Bach, you get to choose who are the 4 dunk tanks.
It's so hard to choose because, again, Nebraska's just kind of been spread throughout these rivalries. Wisconsin would be a much bigger one if Nebraska beat a relevant Wisconsin team. They did beat them last year.
Well, doesn't that Ron Dayne, aren't there games with Wisconsin that leave a real bitter taste on the tongue of Nebraska fans?
Oh, absolutely. A couple blowouts, the Melvin Gordon game, the big,
right?
The Big Ten championship game. But again, they kicked Nebraska's butt so bad. Remember, Nebraska, when they joined the Big Ten, there was a big group of fans that wanted to play Wisconsin year in and year out. The Barry Alvarez connection just felt like there was something kind of natural there. And at first, there was a legends and leaders. Nebraska didn't match up with Wisconsin year in and year out.
Right.
Then they made the Big Ten West, and they did, and that appeased a lot of Husker fans. And they started a trophy. There was talk about Nebraska being a flip phone from Corey Clement and Big Ten Media. It was a real budding rivalry. And then Wisconsin beat Nebraska so badly and ripped their hearts out time and time again that it just became so cyclical that they lost the rivalry. Now there's one rivalry that Nebraska plays year in and year out, and it's Iowa. Even the Big Ten said, yeah, that's not much of a rivalry. We don't need to protect.
Like, what are you mad about?
Yeah.
You're not really competing.
So in Wisconsin, it's the same conversation with Texas. Like Oklahoma, you have historic battles back and forth. Texas, Wisconsin, the hatred of them is they just beat you or beat you so poorly or they rip your heart out. I think Mac Brown was 8-1 against Nebraska in the Big 12. It's a one-sided rivalry.
So don't you want to kind of get a punch in? Like, don't you want to get, listen, I couldn't beat you in football, but you know what? You're dunk tank. You're getting wet, bro. Like, I take a shot at somebody. This is the dunk tank is getting even. At least temporary, causing some minuscule amount of discomfort for your rival. Choosing who that rival is important. It's a statement of who you are, right? So, Bach, one dunk tank. You get to punch one dunk tank and send one Nebraska rival under the water.
I think after all these years, it'd still be Texas.
Just, horns down. Can't
yeah. And they're back up again. They're back. Texas is back.
Doesn't that
so it's
hurt?
a good time to get them back.
But that's the thing. That's the part of identifying a villain is that their success hurts you. And some of it's from similarity, right? You go, well, wait a minute. That like the haterism should be apparent. Like, wait a minute. How are they back? Like, what are they doing? And I don't know. Yeah, the Texas says Creighton is only a basketball thing. A team like Iowa has all sports. As a wrestling fan, I barely care about Creighton other than wishing general ill will, which is a huge statement out loud. Like, it's actually the thing, right? Because proximity matters, right? In a rivalry, having to see that person, to see, like in a high school, to see the villain is somebody that you have to see every day. And that discomfort, that daily discomfort of going, oh, here come this one right here. Like, here come this one right here. And there's a part of it where you just go, okay, because if I can't see you, you can't bother me. Oklahoma, if they're not relevant, Okay, like you have a flashback and you can think back in time, but do they really move you to feel any kind of way right now? Does Oklahoma move you in a negative way right now?
A little bit. Whenever I watch Oklahoma and Texas, I choose a team at the beginning that I'm cheering for, and it depends on the year, whatever team I kind of like or dislike less, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't, like, every year it's like I can't actively get myself to cheer for it. So it's like I just forget who I'm cheering for halfway through, and it's because it's hard. It's hard to cheer for either one of them.
So which one of those would make you the saddest if they won a national title?
Probably still Texas.
More than Iowa. If Iowa won a national title, it would be a border war in full. Because you've given them the power to be in a conversation that they haven't been able to be in. Like they can talk all their other stuff, but they can never say they're in that club.
Well, the thing is that if Iowa did it, you would feel especially that Nebraska should be able to do it. If Texas does it, Texas is on a whole different level than Nebraska for reasons we all know and understand. If Iowa does it, similar to like the Kansas State success or the Wisconsin success, where it's like, hey, we should be that team in the Midwest.
So what is the difference between Nebraska and Texas? What is the difference? You just said that it's known. They know what the difference is. To me, Nebraska has everything Texas has, other than size of state.
Well, that's pretty big as far as like in-state recruits.
But Texas has always had size of state, and Nebraska was better than them. So there's a way that doesn't matter.
Well, Texas is also goes through and ruins conferences based on their size of state and their market power. I mean, there's a lot of differences between Texas. I went to a Texas-Iowa State game, and it's similar to, Nebraska's obviously on a different level than Iowa State, but it was cool just to listen to the Iowa State fans. It wasn't, hey, maybe we can compete with Texas this year on the field. We have a better team. It's just kind of like, hopefully they slip up somehow this year because we know they have all these advantages that Iowa State's not going to get.
What are the Texas advantages? Size of population. What else?
Well, it's the State School of Texas, right? Now there are some other schools in there.
Is it?
Yeah.
Some Aggies would fight you on it, but okay.
I know, but
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
It is a blue blood. They do have history on their side. A lot of would argue one of the most underachieving programs considering their advantages they have. But I'm going back to the advantages they have.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean.
So it's really just population, money.
History, television market. I mean, power within. It's probably one of the more powerful athletic departments.
Then how was Nebraska football better than Texas football?
Well, a lot can be equalized if you have one of the best coaches of all time.
So that would be the thing.
I think that's always the thing in college football.
Really?
More often than not. Yeah.
More than talent, more than players.
Well, coaches are going to help bring that in and bring it together. But if you're talking about sustainability, like as opposed to pro sports, then it's kind of more is talent and players
then
that you acquire.
Then how did Alabama surpass everybody?
Nick Saban.
So just the coach, not money, not size of state, not population.
Well, Nick Saban wasn't able to do the same thing at Michigan State. There's differences.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, ultimately, Nick Saban would be my number one reason as to why they were where they are.
Georgia.
Kirby Smart.
So coaching. The coach matters.
Coaching matters more than anything in college football, I believe.
Where's Kirk Ferentz in that coaching ranking, priority, ability to
talking offense or defense? No.
Both, right?
Yeah.
Like it's really a thing. Like you have to say it. You have to say it, Bach. You have to say it.
But I give him a lot of credit, similar to the kind of, not quite to the kind of Bill Snyder or Frank Beamer route, where I'd love to see any of those guys coach at Alabama or Texas and just see what it looks like. Now, it might be like culturally, all that stuff might look a little different with each individual case. But guys that do more with less or build a program out of nothing, it's the crazy amount of respect for him.
Yeah, it becomes, and then in the villain conversation, right? That if Texas has bypassed or is bypassing Oklahoma, because Oklahoma has similar size, access to player development resource, and then it becomes the coach, then hiring the coach becomes the thing. for all programs. If you want to be legitimate, we have to be careful because then you have to ask, did you hire the right coach to get to the level of the people you should be on the level with? Right? And then if you're failing at that, then whoever's making that decision is problematic. They should be reconsidered. Because in the last 30 years, how many coaches would have put Nebraska or should have put Nebraska at Texas, Oklahoma level?
Well, that's what you have to go. I mean, it's fascinating. And that's what Nebraska's been missing, is that coach that can elevate Nebraska, right? I mean, you've had all these different coaches. How many of them after their stops at Nebraska have went on to have bigger and better jobs than their job at Nebraska? The answer is none. There hasn't been one since Tom Osborne that has left Nebraska in a better spot for Nebraska or did better in their job post-Nebraska. Now, Frank Solich had a great career at Ohio, Hall of Fame career, but obviously we know Ohio is not the job that Nebraska is. So, I mean, that's my biggest hope, is that Nebraska at some point lands the right coach that can elevate it back to it, and hopefully Matt Rule's that guy, obviously. But
I all of what you said leads me to this. Maybe the Nebraska job is better than the coaches that they've hired for.
Absolutely.
Right? Like that would be the landing point, is that sometimes the program is better than the people who have been put in charge of it. And then you have to get back to it. And yeah, we all have hope that Matt Rule's got to get back to it. But it's always interesting that if coaching is the priority and the thing that leads it more than talent or personnel or financial resources, then you have to ask the question, why are you spending money on all the other stuff if it's not really that important? But those are the discussions. We'll get to your text on the villain because y'all have some. Yeah, there's some ones. The biggest sports villain. So text line, you get to choose your sports villain. Who is the one for you that when it comes to this person, coach, program, moment, sports moment, right? It can be a moment. Who is the biggest sports villain for Nebraska athletics for you? We'll get those when we come back.
Watch live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. You're listening to One on One with DP on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It's never too late to start protecting your company's data from cyber attacks. Your customers put their trust in you to keep their information safe from online threats. Don't let them down. Partner with Hamilton Business Technologies to get real-time threat monitoring, advanced security protocols, and experts who monitor it all for you. We care about the success of your business and the communities you serve. Hamilton Business Technologies. Real people, real technology solutions. Connect with us at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Attorney CPA Joe Cordell.
Hopefully you and I agree that you should do everything you can to save your marriage. Divorce is hard, expensive, and its outcome is usually not all you hope for. However, when doing everything has failed, when divorce remains as your last option, consider Cordell & Cordell as your first choice to help you through the divorce process to a better place on the other side. We've been a partner men can count on for more than 30 years. Let us be that partner for you.
The attorneys at Cordell & Cordell work to help men maximize their role in their children's lives. Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Lincoln area attorneys, a partner men can count on. 402-858-3220. That's 402-858-3220. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. Office in downtown Lincoln. 1221 N Street, Suite 801, Lincoln, Nebraska 68508.
People always ask me, hey, Libby, what fuels you? Passion, competition, the pursuit of greatness? None of those things. Raising Cane's is the only fuel I need. Their cooked-to-order chicken fingers always fills my tank, and the crinkle-cut fries and Texas toast are the perfect top-off for the perfect road trip. So when I'm running on fumes, I always refuel at Raising Cane's. But turns out, not everything's fueled by Cane's. Guess the old girl prefers her sauce unleaded. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
Gannett Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gannett Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs.
Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels and Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels and Joe.
Advanced Medical Imaging is the largest radiology group in Nebraska, located in Lincoln at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. At Advanced Medical Imaging, they utilize state-of-the-art technology and blend it together with their compassionate, skilled team to guide you through every step. Whether it's an MRI, CT scan, or X-ray, their precise diagnostics help your doctor deliver the best care plan for you. Choose clarity and comfort in your life by choosing Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard and online at amimaging.com.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks. Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Batter up! Join us this summer at Haymarket Park for 50 action-packed Salt Dogs games running now through August. Visit saltdogs.com for updates on everything you need to know about weekly promotions, giveaways, and special events. That's where you'll find the latest updates to make sure you catch all the excitement and never miss a homestand you want to attend. Haymarket Park is your ticket to fun all summer long. Visit saltdogs.com to get your tickets and unleash the fun.
Breathe easier inside your home with Bryant. Eliminate allergens and odors and control humidity too. For a breath of fresh air, call 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, a slight chance of showers and storms this morning. Otherwise, we'll see decreasing clouds throughout the day with light winds and a high near 87. Tonight, mainly clear skies and calm winds, low around 66. And tomorrow, we'll see mainly sunny skies with light winds and a high near 91. I'm meteorologist Kyle Flecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
You're listening to One-on-One with DP, sponsored by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It is funny. Bach and I were talking about through all of it, right? That what moves people is funny to me. And we were talking about amusement parks, and I'm deeply, deeply, deeply affected by a fear of heights. Deeply affected. And I mean somehow I've managed to get over it being on planes to the point now where I prefer to sit in the window. And the window could be open and I'm fine. Takeoffs and landing don't bother me. But glass windows in high floors? No. You know those outdoor elevators? No. No to that. But roller coasters. And as a kid, we had one near us. Actually, we had a couple. We had one in Maryland, and then one in Richmond, Virginia, Kings Dominion. And it had a roller coaster, Rebel Yell. And the whole point was, could you get over the original ascent and then immediate top of the world descending to the bottom? But Bach, you said a thing that we bonded on, that Ferris wheels, you could ask me to give blood before you ask me to get on a Ferris wheel. Bach, where do you stand on that?
Oh no, I'm glad that we talked about it, because I usually get weird looks when I say I hate Ferris wheels. They're very frightening, because I mean they just take you in the air, that you barely have a bar that barely comes down. If the wind moves at all, if you're there with a kid, I mean it's so frightening. You could easily fall out. And then obviously they're loading people. They stop you at the top. It's kind of shaking up there. It's like the roller coasters, yeah, you're high, but at least you're just moving, so you're like thinking about something else. When you're just sitting there with kind of moving back and forth at the top in the wind, oh man, that's
and there are no new Ferris wheels.
That's right, too. They're all creaking.
You hear your pending death, and it's click, click, click. And you go, wait a minute. You had me on this wheel of death, and you didn't bother to oil the joints. You didn't, and then you're gonna take me to the top of the world. And again, it is that bar, right? And you hope that click down locks. But I'm also this way. Nothing takes me down a social media rabbit hole like the videos of people who pass out on amusement park rides. Bach, I will listen. If I find a feed where they're, because they have the video camera, right? The video camera's there in the face of the people, and it's usually a couple. Sometimes it's best friends, but sometimes it's a couple, and the guy is usually there trying to be super macho, but it's always the guy who passes out. And I mean, passes out and faints, and then wakes up in the middle of his pass out to pass out again.
That's right.
And Bach, I will turn down the sound of a playoff game to watch people pass out on a Ferris wheel or on an amusement park. Like the ones that drop, like it takes you up to the top of this thing. And again, we don't know who built it. We don't know what kind of day they were having. We don't know the guy who's running it, right? Because he often looks like he had a rough night. I've never been on an amusement park ride where the person who was operating the ride of death looked like they should be running the ride, that they should be responsible for Bach's life at the top of this Ferris wheel.
Well, it's either that or just a teenage kid, right? It's somebody that looks like they don't know what, looks like they've had a rough night, like you said, or a kid that just get fresh off the street, like, yeah, whatever, I'll push a button, here it goes.
Good luck, Bach. Good luck. So I'm just not that. I'm and there are people that can go on speed. Like I can go on a speed ride. I can go on an upside down ride, but I do not like the top of any roller coaster. It is the final 20 seconds of getting to the top of the first dip. And then it is the feeling in your stomach when you get to the top and you're looking over into the abyss and you see your future or not. And then your stomach being pulled by gravity into your throat as you ascend. And it's a quick, deep ascension. And there's the feeling. And I know that that's part of the thrill for people. But I'm also, as you asked the question, am I a thrill seeker? No. like I have parasailed off beaches in islands, and I'm fine. I can go up as high as you want if I have gone from the ground up. Except I cannot parasail off a cliff. Nothing in me is comfortable or would continue to exist, Bach, if you had attached me to a parasail and then asked me to run towards the end of a cliff and fly off. Bach, can you do that? Are you like a bungee?
I've done a few things, but as I get older, I realize I just kind of lost the taste for it. I also have a cracked skull, so I probably shouldn't do that.
You've matured into it. You've matured into it.
Yeah. And the same thing with roller coasters. About my mid-20s, it was like, all right, now my stomach doesn't like roller coasters, so now I don't like roller coasters.
Like, I think it's always fascinating. And people are like, you're afraid of heights. Yes, I'm afraid of heights. I mean, and it's weird, too. Like going across bridges, these high bridges. Becky and I travel quite a bit, and we have to make it a part of the consideration of where we go on vacation. Because if we were in San Jose, California, and we were going to see her nephew, and we had to get in the car and go up like a mountain and across a bridge, and my palms were a torrential downpour of sweat of my body and my brain telling me, hey, bro, we on the side. Like there's when you go to Hawaii, there's a road to Lahaina. And Lahaina starts at the base of the beach. And there's a road that snakes from the base to the top of the mountain. And there's only one lane. There's two lanes. There's one lane coming and one lane going. So once you're on this road to Lahaina, you can't get off it. You cannot get off it. They have stops along the way where people they're selling you coconut water and drinks and watermelon, etc. But you're not getting off. Well, I didn't know any of this, and my three friends didn't tell me. And Bach, they got me in the car, and I'm in the back seat, and I mean to tell you, I curled up. I didn't understand the fetal position until this trip. That I curled up and went, what is happening? Because you're sitting on the side, Bach, it's the window and the side of the cliff, water, and a deep fall.
Oh, yeah.
And my brain was like, hey, bro, we're out. Like, we're going to take a nap.
It's crazy, too, how experienced drivers through those territories, they'll just wing it, just be going to there's no threat at all of impending death.
Like you see those people on commercials and it's mind blowing to me. Like there are roads in California when they talk about those roads where people get sports cars and they just zoom on the cliff. And I'm like, you don't appreciate life. Okay. Good to know. Good to know I'm not that person. So I got to read this text. This is fantastic. So Ted says, I worked at an amusement park in Omaha called Penny Park. I was a ride operator. One day I was running one of those super high chain seat rides where it spins you in a circle about 50 feet off the ground on a single chair hooked by chains. In the middle of the ride, I hit the stop button and it didn't stop. I hit it about 9 more times and it still didn't stop. And then I started to panic. I actually left the ride to a worker while it was still spinning people around, and he finally came over and unplugged it. It was at that point I decided I would never actually get on one of those rides again. Ted, that's the text of the day. Kind sir, I'm giving you a ticket t-shirt. Come by the station and pick it up. Because that is fully my expectation of being on any of those rides. That we're all just taking a chance. Bach, can you imagine if the guy just goes, hey, Bach, just unplug it? And it's that simple, because what if you're on the ride and it's working and somebody just unplugs it?
Well, I would be worried about okay, does it come to a sudden stop when you unplug it? Is it going to still slow down?
Well, you're spinning, and
right.
science tells you objects in motion tend to stay in motion. Nothing good's going to happen from this. Nothing good. And the fact that this exists in all of those amusement park rides. All of them. And it's there. Yeah, magic that part because and the fact that I don't bounce anymore, I just go thud. Yeah, all of that in truth, all of that. Yeah. Rubber Duck asked the question, and Bach asked, so what would it take to get you to skydive? That from a plane?
Yeah, I was about to do that before my son was born, and then I thought better of it after becoming a parent.
Important cargo.
Yeah,
very important cargo, Bach. You need to consider that. No. I have friends who have all done it. No, there will be no skydiving. Thomas Lincoln says Ferris wheel is a giant hamster wheel of death for humans. I do not disagree with you, sir, at all. We were talking about biggest sports villains. We have about 5 texts, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 texts, and we will read them all when we come back to 101.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store. You're listening to One-on-One with DP on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Batter up. Join us this summer at Haymarket Park for 50 action-packed Salt Dogs games running now through August. Visit saltdogs.com for updates on everything you need to know about weekly promotions, giveaways, and special events. That's where you'll find the latest updates to make sure you catch all the excitement and never miss a homestand you want to attend. Haymarket Park is your ticket to fun all summer long. Visit saltdogs.com to get your tickets and unleash the fun.
Rick Heyman here from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. Visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at sartorheyman.com.
Sartor Heyman Jewelers.
Since 1983, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs have been a trusted and reliable company in Lincoln and the surrounding areas. Fast Mike's handles all sides of construction projects, home renovations, or big cleanouts. With the perfect size dumpster to fit your needs, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs will haul it all. With same-day delivery in Lincoln, affordable rates, and top-notch service, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs make cleanup quick and easy. Call now at 402-450-6828 or visit us online at fastmikeroll-offs.com. Book your dumpster today. Fast Mike's Roll-Offs, cleanup made simple.
Breathe easier inside your home with Bryant. Eliminate allergens and odors and control humidity too. For a breath of fresh air, call 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Looking for a financial partner that truly makes a difference? Modern Woodman is a member-owned fraternal financial services organization. We can help you plan for all stages of life, from protection to saving to retirement. We also offer member benefits, social activities, and volunteer opportunities to help your family and community.
I'm Sean Erickson, your Modern Woodman representative in Lincoln. Call me at 402-483-6515 to start the conversation.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
Take control of your health with the DASH scan at Advanced Medical Imaging. The DASH scan is a full-body MRI designed for advanced health screening. This dynamic approach provides exceptionally sharp images across multiple organ systems, helping to detect potential concerns early. With minimal radiation and no invasive procedures, the DASH scan offers a safe, comprehensive look at your health. Plus, results are delivered faster than ever, giving both patients and physicians confidence in screening and diagnosis. Your health is too important to wait. Schedule your DASH scan today at Advanced Medical Imaging. Visit amimaging.com or call 402-484-6677 to learn more.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Western Sand and Gravel is hiring for a variety of positions at their sand and gravel plants near Ashland. Apply today and receive a $2,500 hiring bonus. Available positions include plant operators, dredge operators, and shop service technicians. They offer great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, paid holidays, and paid time off. No matter your experience level, on-the-job training is available to help you build a rewarding career with Western Sand and Gravel. Start your career today. Visit westernsand.com.
You're listening to One on One with DP, sponsored by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We will close out this hour, and then tomorrow we will be at Adam Carricker's football camp. We will broadcast live from there from 9 to 1. So both the drive and one-on-one will be live from there. Of course, we'll bring you some of the folks who are going to be at the camp. There'll be some Huskers of note. So we will have them and try to pull them all away from the camp to do interviews and talk to us over the course of that thing. And then, again, for next Friday, BP with DP, you just have to reach out and let me know you want to be a part of it. And we can do that. Bach, we went through the full list of villains, and we'll read some of these in closing out. 1582 says modern day villain is Jim Harbaugh. People try to downplay his cheating scandal, but the reality is he disenfranchised thousands of student athletes out of a fair chance to compete. I suppose the NCAA is just as culpable for refusing to do anything about it and letting them compete in the postseason. Bach, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, you can always go back if you're not cheating, you're not trying. But yeah, I mean, that scandal is definitely interesting there. And I mean, it's, but I guess I still, despite it all, and that's, I kind of go back to what I just said. If you're not cheating, you're not trying. It's tough to win a championship at Michigan. So the fact that he was able to get there, I still respect Jim Harbaugh, but I do understand the villain aspect of it.
Oh, you respect villains, but they're still villains.
Right.
Dan from Canopy says Texas, Iowa, Wisconsin, and the fans leave us no choice but Creighton. He goes, we respect Oklahoma, but the rest we do not. Jordan P says the biggest villain is the clock keeper in the last Big 12 title game. Again, that's been a constant. It's a simple thing. 9766 says Harbaugh took Stanford. Coaching matters. Yeah, it's a thing, right? That Bill Snyder, Harbaugh, coaching matters. Gus Mohawk says coaching matters. That's why I take the 95 Huskers over the 2001 Miami and 2019 LSU teams. They might slightly be more talented, but Coach Osborne isn't going to get outcoached by Ed Orgeron or Larry Coker. Agreed. You are all correct in all of that. Kupsker says this, Iowa is now a proper rival in my opinion. The amount of games we played against them in all sports where you win and you get a postseason of any kind, and then it always comes down to the wire, literally both teams being in it till the end of games makes me wish ill of all Iowa programs. Yeah. Question here from Alaska. 0965. DP. Who would you compare Nebraska's football program to in WWE all time? It has to be a former champ. The way Nebraska sees itself or the way other people see Nebraska? Bruno Sammartino. That elite, an elegant run, a long, prolonged run, different rivals and different successes, but an era gone by that it will never be the way it was when Bruno was held the strap. It'll never be that way again. In the era of that you turned it over from Bruno to Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair. It's a different game now. The champions are Roman Reigns, John Cena-ish, right? We would like for Nebraska to be John Cena and come back and have a run. We would like that. We would like for it to be Randy Orton. But I don't think they are. I think they're more an era gone by, an era of unrivaled greatness. There was no greater champion in the WWE than Bruno Sammartino. The long run, his tenures were epic, and his rivalries were epic. He sold out buildings across the world, and people simply couldn't take the strap until he decided it was time. And then he got frustrated at the way new business is being done. Didn't like the way, Bruno don't like the way it was being done. Bill and Bennett says Dusty Rhodes. No, Dusty Rhodes is Georgia all the way. Maybe Texas. I think that would be fair. But yeah, Nebraska is Bruno. And that's a compliment, mind you, because that was my favorite era of wrestling. The Bruno era was my favorite era of wrestling. Bach, what's your favorite era?
Probably the Attitude Era.
Who was the best champion of that era?
Well, Stone Cold and The Rock had a pretty good rivalry. One or the other.
Yeah, not bad. Bach and the Black Shirt, the Hall of Famer. Up next here on The Ticket. Don't go anywhere. Love y'all.
When opportunity knocks, you don't want to miss the call. Hamilton Business Technologies makes communication easy and efficient using customized technology, all while putting people first. Whether you